Yes, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to GAA Fan TV. This is the show that keeps you up to date with everything that is happening in both Gaelic football and hurling. And we are here today, guys, to review the game between Dublin and Cork. Dublin have just ran out 13-point victory winners over Cork at Croke Park in the first game of the Super 8's Championship. Huge result, of course, for Dublin in their opening game. But more so, not a huge result for Cork, but a very good performance by Cork. They certainly gave a very good display of themselves in this game, and they've come a long way in the past, 6 to 8 weeks comparing to where they were at the end of the National League campaign when they were relegated to Division 3. So, huge display of courage by Cork in this game. They kept the pace with the All-Ireland champions up until the final 6 or 7 minutes. So I think Cork can be really, really proud of themselves. Of course, before we jump straight into reviewing this game, do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this game and what you thought of some of this weekend's action in the Super 8's Championship so far. Of course, earlier today we've seen Tyrone edge out Roscommon by 4 points. I did make a video on that already. Do check it out on the channel. But yeah, in terms of how this game started, I wasn't too surprised that Cork came flying out of the blocks. Dublin have been very slow starters so far in the Championship this year. They were slow starters against Meath. It took them like 20 minutes, I think, to register a point in that game. And even in the game against Kildare as well, they were quite slow starters. So it didn't surprise me too much that Cork came flying out of the blocks in this game and hit 4 or 5 points quite early on. The main question was going to be, could they, contain that level with the Dubs? Could they keep that up? And the answer for that most part was they certainly could. In the first half, anytime Dublin looked like they were going to gain more of an advantage or pull away that bit more, Cork kind of always seemed to respond. And they've got a huge level of fight in them, this Cork side. We've seen that against Kerry, and even in that game against Laois. They're not afraid to really go for it, this Cork team. They've got a lot of quality, a young team, an inexperienced team in many ways, and certainly things are looking very, very good for the future. Players that impressed me quite much for Cork were certainly Brian Hurley. He looks like a very good player, very quick on his feet, lightning quick, knows how to drop his man, and certainly knows how to kick some quality scores in the process as well. Of course, Mark Collins as well, Luke Connolly. 2 more players very much stood out for Cork on the day today of this game, and very much so far this season. But Dublin, of course, we always know that Dublin have quality from all elements of the pitch. They're able to bring players off the bench. They're able to change their tactics, change their game, depending on how the game is going. And Dublin's best player so far this year has been Cormac Costello, but he just wasn't at it today. His frees were poor. In possession, he wasn't quite there, and he was very anonymous throughout the entirety of the game. But what Jim Gavin has at his disposal and what this Dublin side have created, and one of the main reasons why Dublin have been as good as they've been over the past coming years, has been because of the players they can bring off the bench. Dean Rock comes off the bench. I don't even think he missed a free when he came off. He was absolutely outstanding, kicking free kicks from all angles, his good side, his bad side. And he was absolutely outstanding as well. Dublin, of course, their main player though in this game, their standout player, their man of the match, was certainly Jack McCaffrey. I remember his game against Cork actually, I think back in 2014 it might have been, or 2015. I remember the game he played, or I remember that game where he was absolutely outstanding, and certainly in this game as well, he was up there as well as definitely probably Dublin's best player. The speed he has, he's definitely one of the best athletes in Ireland at the moment. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And the way he was able to link up the play, kick points, and he also got a goal as well, which he very rarely gets. So, all around a very good performance by Jack McCaffrey, especially in that first half when a lot of Dublin's players were not quite up to the level that we expected. Jack McCaffrey was one player that really did stand out. Of course, the goal towards the closing stages in the first half made a huge difference as well. It made it a 6-point game at half time, and you really felt like then in the second half that Dublin would kick on even more and really win this game quite comfortably. But Cork certainly showed their response. They came out in the second half again. The start of the second half very similarly to the way they started the first half. Kicking early points, Brian Hurley again, of course, got their penalty. That was very well dispatched as well. So Cork, very good again to close the game down, make it a 2 to 3 point game. Anytime Dublin looked like pulling away in this game, Cork were able to respond. So things are looking up for Cork. And, you know, in terms of that game versus Tyrone next week, that will be a different game, of course, for Cork. We know Tyrone played a blanket defence. They won't quite get the same space that they got in this game, and indeed their last games against Laois and Kerry. So that will be a different game for Cork. But certainly Cork are improving massively. You know, that blitz at the end was very disappointing, obviously. The Cork goalkeeper, Mark White, gave away a poor kick out that led Dublin to get a goal, of course, from Paul Mannion. And yeah, Brian Fenton got on the score sheet as well with a wonderful goal. And Dublin, you know, once they start getting that space, getting that ability, bringing players off the bench, as I said, you know, they're very much able to dispatch sides quite easily. And things are looking up for Cork, but things are certainly looking up for Dublin as well. They will be worried a bit about their defensive display, but because Dublin are so good at times going forward, you feel like, well, if you do attack them, and if you do hit 15 to 20 points against the Dubs will most likely probably hit, you know, 30 or 30 odd points. So it's one of them things. The more you attack Dublin, the more you really go at them, the more space you leave in behind. But then at the same time, if you play the defensive type system, Dublin will very much exploit that as well. So hats off to Cork. I'll be interested to see how they do against Tyrone. Dublin, of course, are facing Roscommon next. You'd fancy Dublin to see off Roscommon in that game. But of course, Roscommon have had a very good year, in my opinion, defensively. So it'll be interesting to see how they do against that Dublin side. But ultimately, guys, Dublin, very good display in this game in the end, especially in the second half, in those closing stages. A lot to work on, but certainly going forward, Dublin are still, for me, looking like the team to beat to win the All-Ireland for this year. But anyway, guys, that has been my match reaction of Dublin's 13-point victory over Cork. Do let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the game. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, all that good stuff. My name is Aaron, and I will catch you all next time.